Hello, 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 everybody. You are welcome back to this edition of our Positive Word. I trust that you are doing well. Thank you for joining me again. Yes, this simple question to all of us: who do you hear or who do you listen to? You will agree with me that in this extremely noisy world we live in, we will hear all kinds of sounds or noises that will impact our decisions, our views, our behaviors, and the outcomes of our actions. As there are vacuous people, empty people who have got nothing, vacant, hollow, void, blank. They have nothing to offer. Yes, as there are more of those people with no goals or aims in life, we hear how hollow, empty they are when they open their mouths in the attempt to speak. We will look at Mark chapter 4, verse 35, where Jesus said to the disciples, "Let us go to the other side." In verse 37, we read that a great storm arose and the waves broke the boat. When Jesus said, "Let us go to the other side," they all got in a boat, of course, and were on the sea, sailing to the other side. The disciples turned to Jesus when the storms began. They turned to him and found him soundly asleep. They screamed at him, asking if he did not care if they perished. Jesus got up and he commanded the sea to be still, and there was a great calm. Excuse me. He asked the disciples why they were fearful and had no faith. If a person began this story from where the people ran to ask Jesus to save them, the person would think that Jesus was being too harsh, overly harsh, to have rebuked the disciples in that manner. However, we can see that the sea was raging, the storm, the water was rolling as if it would swallow them. It was filling up the boat. They had every reason to be afraid. Nevertheless, who asked them to make this move that got them into the boat? It was Jesus. He said, "Let us go to the other side." Where did he say they were going to? To the other side. Not to get drowned in the middle of the sea. The Lord of the storm was with them. He had declared the outcome before they began. And he went to sleep, hoping to have a sound rest, a good rest, and be woken up when they landed on the other side. But as the storms arrived, the disciples forgot the words of Jesus, and they heard the roars of the raging sea all around them. That was typical human being thing to do. We focus on the problems. Storms of life will come our way. The winds will howl. The boat we are in will be tossed and may even get broken. We will have no choice but to decide on who we will hear. Either Christ, who we're listening to, or the crisis in which we find ourselves. Will you focus on the promises in the scriptures or on the storms, the noise of the storm that is around you, my friend? God told Joshua to meditate in the word day and night. Meditate, to read it, recite, say it over and over until it becomes printed into the mind. Paul told us to let the word of Christ dwell richly in all wisdom and teaching and admonishing one another. This is in Colossians chapter 3, verse 16. Dear friend, who you hear or listen to matters a lot. The crisis will come in various manners to unsettle our lives and rock our very foundation. There are many voices, both human and demonic sounds, vying for our attention. If we listen to hear God's Spirit, all those destructive sounds will have no lasting impact on us. Our God is more than able to restore tranquility and bring back order into our situations if we hear Him in the midst of all the nonsense noise. But we must intentionally position ourselves to hear Him. Who do you hear, my friend? Who do you listen to? Not the voice of the false prophet, of the lying politician, of that fake person at the bank, a colleague, a family member, a parent, a sibling, a husband, a wife. Who do you listen to? I thank you for your time today. Until I come your way again, it's goodbye for now. As you willingly pay attention to hear the voice, that still small voice of the Spirit of God in us, that will lead us, guide us into all truth along the path of life. Be blessed.